Okay, we're gonna go live. Test, test. What? Hey, can you believe this, mama? Look at her, wow. So we're in Zephyrhills right now, not too far from the 2.5 acre property that we just got in Plant City. My property is actually north Plant City, and this is about 15-20 minutes north of us in Zephyrhills. Now, last week, they just experienced low temperatures and actually a frost in this area. Some of the leaves here were damaged in the frost. And so they're brown. But we were just saying that luckily it's not that bad. It was able to survive. They're not even yellowed out. They're still really dark and green, which is amazing. And you know what? They probably taste really good. Sometimes cold weather, like with strawberries, can make the fruit taste better. Sometimes the winter greens taste a little bit different than the summer greens. And I've been harvesting this tree now for 3 years, probably 5 times. It's been huge. We've cut it back. It's been huge. We've cut it back. Crazy story. I met the owners of this property actually about 4 years ago from a friend you may know from the South Tampa tree. I met Nancy from the South Tampa tree at the farmer's market, my very first farmer's market. Her best friend that she grew up with in elementary school is Angie, and we're at Angie's place, Angie and Denise's place today. They've been so grateful. So both Nancy and Angie got their trees from a workshop like 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years ago. And this tree has been in the ground for about 8 years. And I've been caring for it for about 3, 4 years now. And it's just a magnificent tree. We actually, and I'll pan over here and I'll show you that we actually planted a whole entire row of Moringa trees here on the side yard. But they're going to be doing some construction here, and they want to go ahead and donate these trees back to us. They've been in the ground here for about 2 years, and we planted them from little babies, and now they're very, very nice size. But it just gets too cold here for Moringa trees, and they say that they would do much better a little bit further south, and also they're going to do a little bit of construction here in the backyard. It's a small backyard, actually butting up against some natural land, natural preserve, which is why sometimes the wind, cold air can get in here and affects the greens. Now in the summertime, she's great. Now what you can tell is that because this one's rooted, it's got some good root systems, it wasn't as damaged even with the cold air coming down and resting on the leaves. So I really appreciate you for coming by and visiting us here at Numa Nursery, the YouTube channel. Please visit my website, numanursery.com, if you have any more information about how we grow Moringa trees in the Tampa Bay area, if you'd like to join the Moringa Growers Co-op. And like this video if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the Numa Nursery YouTube channel. Just want to make sure we're not going over time. This is really great. What I'll probably do is just start trimming these leaves back and just getting it ready for the next season. And it'll just start growing back here the next few months. It'll just start flushing back out. So I'll pan over here so you can see exactly what we have over here. We planted that tree, those 2 trees, as well as this line of Moringa trees in the backyard. And these ones got affected by the frost. So there must have been some sort of wind or cold air that rested on the south side, whereas these trees on the north side were not affected as much by the cold weather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here in a few minutes and start harvesting and trimming some of these leaves back so you can see just how we harvest these Moringa trees. So thanks so much. Peace. Hey, all right, we're back. Okay, welcome back. We've got our tool. I like to work with hand tools. Maybe eventually I'll get an electric tool, but for now, I just love being able to feel the wood and also take my time and talk to the moringa tree as we're harvesting. Now, we've been training this tree up taller, so we do like the lower limbs and how they protect the bottom part of the tree, but we want to get some sunlight in here. So we're going to trim these lower branches, pull off some of these dead branches, even just get it back for right now. Being that it's winter time, we still may see another few more freezes here in the region. And so we're going to go ahead and get as many of these greens cut back as we can now before we lose any more. And we're going to assess this tree. It's got some really nice growth off of it. And we've been caring for this tree for about 3 years now. We just take our time. We can see some of these limbs are just growing into each other anyway, so you can just kind of cut them back at the main nodes. That way they could still split out. We're not going to cut them all the way back to the pieces here because we still might get some more splits from here. So we'll pull some of these off. Thank you so much, Miss Moringa. Thank you so much for providing such abundance. Now you can see just how big she is. Now, I was in this tree a couple years ago. It got hit by a frost in 2018, and I came by and had to cut her way back. She was a lot bigger than this even, so hopefully we can get through this season without too many more freezes. We've been lucky so far. My property is just about 20 minutes south of here. This tree has had pods on it before. We've definitely collected some pods from this tree. What we'll do is we'll probably let this go for the rest of the year, depending on the frost, if there's any more damage from here. And might as well collect some of the greens before they get damaged in the cold weather anyways. We've been getting settled into the new property really well. Uncle Bob's been helping out a lot, making products. Funny story how I met Uncle Bob. Actually, he was the landscaper for this property. And I was over here harvesting this tree one day, and Uncle Bob was here, and Angie and Denise introduced us, and he had never heard of moringa before, but over the course of several months, he started looking into it, started using it, started purchasing kilos from us. He started fasting on moringa, and now he's an integral part in the operation here at Numa Nursery and the Moringa Growers Co-op. He is passionate about moringa, sees the potential for its growth in the neighborhood and being able to provide it to many others that are in need of its medicine. So I'll just get back here. We're just taking our time, taking a look. A lot of these forms we've already kind of structurized and wanted to keep. We're trying to build them up so that way they get a little bit thicker. Now, I'm not sure if I even like this one coming in here, blocking this one. I know I might even just kind of take this one out right here. Just because they don't need to be going into each other, and I might even just take this one out right here. See, now, a little bit more space. So that way, if this starts growing up here, this will start growing up here. It's not so much in the way. All right. Let's see if we can get in here. Okay, we're back. All right, great. So now we can get in here and see if we can get up in here. We've been keeping this one nice and bushy. I love all these little splits down here. See if we can get even get in here. Let's see. All right, there we go. Nice. And so that way we can just start trimming back, making some room in here. These greens do look really good. Some good looking greens. Wonderful. Everything is really fresh. I mean, we just came and harvested this. Uncle Bob came and harvested this tree about 2 months ago, but what he did was he didn't take like all the branches like this. What he did was he just kind of took like the lowers and just kind of took some of the pieces off. So we're even doing a little bit more of a cut back now. I may want to go ahead and just keep some of the upper branches so that way it could even just still get some sunlight. See, don't really need that one. That one's growing into that. So mostly just trying to get all the pieces that are like growing into each other may not be necessary, but also just trying to keep some of the branches long so that way they can regrow and resprout. That Moringa is such a soft wood, you can just kind of use a hand tool and come in here and just kind of do a quick trim. And I love spending time with the Moringa trees and learning about them and saying thank you, we're going to be taking care of others. I honestly feel like the Moringa trees talk to each other through the ground, like mycelial network. And they say, hey, Kendrick's coming by to Angie's and Denise's today. And so then they're getting taken care of, and then the other trees down around town, they're like, hey, come take care of us. And then they'll get their owners to call me. I really do feel like I'm talking with the trees. Let's see if we can get up here. Ooh. Whoa. Yeah, finally in that third tier. Yes. I love my inner child. You know, inner child playing with the trees. Just being up here, playing in nature. This is my office. Welcome to my office. Nice, I just got some new boots yesterday. They're working pretty good. This tree is starting to get real strong. Now it's soft, so you don't want to push it too hard and put too much weight on one limb. So I'm just spreading my weight around. See, I'm keeping all these branches because they'll have potential to split here after wintertime. Now, if it freezes again, now we may have to cut it back, you know, even harder, but I want to give it a chance to come back if it doesn't freeze or if it doesn't get damaged by the freeze too much. I really hope that it doesn't. But this is the risk that growers are taking here in the northern areas. Now, people are asking if they could join the co-op you know, in Brooksville and places like that, and certainly can. I'd love for you to just experiment and try to grow the trees for yourself first and try to learn. You know, I'm asking everyone that wants to join the co-op to have at least been growing moringa trees for 2, 3, 4 years and knows exactly how to care for them. And you can be a part of the network, you know, the Moringa network, you know, in that intermediate time when you're learning and supporting the co-op and getting in touch with us, letting us know that you're starting your Moringa journey, and then keeping us in mind and keep in touch with us as your trees become more mature. Let's see what kind of harvest you can get and what kind of quality you can get from them, and if you're able to dry the greens on your property, or if you need us to come out and harvest the greens for you. Like we have so many different options to work together. We're just asking that everyone just be patient in the process, because you got to learn how these trees grow. You know, it's taken me 6 years, 6, 7 years of learning about these trees to know how they really are. Still learning every day. You know, what if these practices that we're doing may stunt the growth, or, you know, affect the health of the greens, or maybe, you know, shorten the tree's lifespan? Or what if the work that we're doing actually extends the lifespan of the trees and keeps it healthy and, you know, gives it energies to where it like constantly is regrowing and resprouting, which keeps the greens in the tree, in the branches from, you know, regenerating constantly. I mean, this is a soft wood, so I find that when I find trees that are, you know, cut back regularly, like the ones that we care for once or twice a year, the wood is much stronger. It's much cleaner, less bugs, you know, less pests, you know, beetles and things like that. So we're going to keep some of these up here. Looks like these ones already got affected by the cold. We'll keep some of those up there. We'll let some of these continue to grow. Some of these little sprouts up here. Yeah, keep these going. That way it gets some sun up here. It looks like these ones were already affected. So get those cut back so they'll resprout. And then these up here will resprout hopefully. And just keep growing right there. Oh, this one got cut. So that'll hopefully resplit there. That'll resplit from there. Get some of those down. And this is starting to look like a nice tree. I love the way this looks. I mean, some arborists may say that this is not the proper way of pruning. Now, there are different methods of pruning where you can prune the trees to not get a lot of growth, and then you can prune trees like tropical trees to manifest and increase the growth. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so there are many different practices of harvesting and pruning of trees. Arborists prune trees in different ways for different purposes. You might see on the streets like crepe myrtles getting trimmed back like this, and then they flush out. And it's not really recommended to just cut trees like and just let them flush out. Like, that's sometimes not a desirable look. It is easier for maintaining, but it may not be as beneficial for the health of the tree. And so what we're doing here is we're going through cycles, and we do have a purpose in how we trim back and harvest. And we're learning about different pruning techniques from arborists and the care for these trees so they stay healthy. Luckily, tropical trees are highly regenerative. It's one reason why they're so regenerative for our bodies, is because they are already highly regenerative species of trees where they regenerate so fast and easy, producing healthy food. And so that way, that's why we're able to trim these back so often and so severe and still keep and maintain the health of the trees. We're keeping in mind, you know, like I say, I'm not taking all of the greens. I'm just kind of doing the lowers, ones that are hanging low, and keeping the greens that are here to help it regenerate, so that way it still gets some sun exposure and its photosynthesis, solar panels. All right. Now we're almost done here. I wish I could get a little bit taller. Oh, here we go. And we'll just trim some of these back here. Hopefully we can keep some of them. Oh yes. Thank you, Miss Moringa. Thank you, Miss Moringa. Wonderful. Very, very nice. Thinking that is probably pretty good here. I'll leave the rest of this. I really appreciate you for learning how to grow moringa trees and coming by, supporting us at the farmers markets, and picking up some of our products on our website. We're getting a new website built right now. Our boy Jason in California, he's actually putting together numanursery.com's new website. That'd be much faster and easier to check out, and just it'll flow like it's supposed to, coming from a digital marketer, not an architect designing a website. I did what I could for as long as I could. Now, we're getting a team of professionals involved that want to be more involved and part of the moringa tree industry and see the love and passion that we have for these trees and want to join us. So thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it from my heart to yours. Peace, love, prosperous growing. Catch you soon. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, wow. Thank you, Miss Moringa. Thank you. Wow, they smell so good. This tree always amazes me. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna come back even stronger than before. Yes, yes you are. Just wait.